So here's why I don't believe in aliens. For starters, you have to have what's called a habitable zone, and in that zone, you have to have a planet that's just the right distance from its star. And if you consider that how rare that would be to have all those, you have to be in the Goldilocks zone. And then you got to ask, well, where'd the water come from? Because these comets, but the chance of that many comets are really anything hitting another object in outer space is almost it's astronomical. It never happens. All the conditions that have to be met, you consider that Mars is a planet that could house and inhabit life, but never has. It just seems very unlikely. And they say, these exoplanets or these moons might. Yeah, I mean, anything could happen, but realistically, the amount of things that have to go right for life to exist on anywhere in the universe is terrifyingly unlikely. And you couple that with the fact that you have to have life, or water to have life, where did it come from? I mean, you can look at that, and you can look at Halley's Comet. That's a comet, and it's been going around for how many thousands of years and never hit anything, but it's not changed its orbit at all. And that's just in our orbit. Now imagine if you were out in space and you go, if for instance, if you were going a straight line from here all the way through the Milky Way, you'd hit nothing. You'd be aiming for something and it wouldn't matter because you'd be so off. But even if not, you would just keep going and hit nothing. You'd exit out on the other side. Then they've run simulations to see how likely it is to hit something, and they haven't hit anything. It's crazy. And it just doesn't seem very likely. And my other thing is why the hell would they ever come to Earth? What would be the point? Because if they can build all that, surely they don't need slaves. They manage without it. So why would they need then to come here? Why would they search? First, they'd have to be searching for us. But why? They'd have to already kind of know. But if you already know, it doesn't make any sense. It's a paradox. We'd have to know what you're searching for before you found it, before you even started looking for it, before you even knew what you were looking for. It doesn't make any sense. If they can go interstellar travel, what the hell would they need us for? They don't need slaves, obviously. Certainly nothing we're doing. They're superior in every way, technologically, so they don't need that. Why would they waste resources? And certainly, if anything crashed, why would it crash land here? That's just, it's preposterous. Why would they even be flying close enough? How many? You'd have to be. It just makes no sense. The chance of any of those things happening. And people could say, well, maybe they just wanted to study and observe. It's like, why? They don't need people. They might need workers. They might be trying to. Why? Why would they? If they need work, they could just use their own species, their own race of people. So if they were looking for cheap labor, I mean, you could go into the ghetto right now and undercut them for whatever you need to build on whatever project. And quite often people do, but that's like basic construction. That's not anything that's of any vital importance, really. That's more like just them laundering money. But I can't imagine if they're so sophisticated that they would want to do that. But the point is, it's like, why would you go to the ghetto? Why not? Why? Because they're what? They're violent. Okay. You probably get a disease, right? They're filthy. All right. So then they might steal. So why would, if we don't do that with something that's within a stone's throw away sometimes, why would they go through all the trouble? It doesn't make any sense. the conditions for life to have to exist too is just astronomical. I mean, it's crazy when you consider it. Did you know that if life were to have to evolve, which I don't believe that it did, that consider from the theory of evolution that they evolved, right? Or we evolved, as it goes. We evolved. That there'd have to be two primates that gave birth at the same time, within the same distance, survive, be male and female of that same generation, and by some miracle meet each other in the time of their fertility window in order for that for our species to have propagated if we evolved. That doesn't make much sense, does it? The chance of things lining up just so perfectly would be like almost like that's kind of how them, if there was life, that if it were even to find us, I mean, we can't find life, and we can do all these scans, we can see exoplanets. I just don't find it very